The tolling of the bell brought a bad day on the markets to a close. For all the clapping and fixed smiles, this was the day America's trade war with China hit stocks. The markets have been falling since they opened as the Chinese responded to America's trade tariffs with a few of their own. With a 2% market drop, the Nasdaq suffered its worst day of the year and the Dow fared little better, millions being wiped away every minute. The president, who's often boasted that the stock market is successful because of him, continued to insist that tariffs were actually good for the economy.
If you look at what we've done thus far with China, we've never taken in 10 cents until I got elected. Now we're taking in billions and billions.
Of course, what he failed to mention is that all the money being raised was coming from the pockets of American consumers. Last year, the US imported a total of $558 billion worth of goods from China, and China imported $179 billion worth from the US. On Friday, President Trump announced that tariffs would be raised on $200 billion worth of goods, including electronics, car parts and furniture. Today, in retaliation, China raised tariffs on $60 billion worth of goods, including American cotton, beer, wine and grains. In response, President Trump has made further threats to increase tariffs on the remaining $300 billion of imports.
We are looking at red across the screen, all the majors down.
None of that bodes well for either economy.
It's not surprising. If the number one and the number two trading and industrial countries in the world can't reach an agreement over trade, then that precludes volatility ahead.
There had been hope of a trade deal quite quickly. Now the markets are having to accept this may be a long and very costly dispute.
Emma's live in Washington, so a lot of nerves there today. Emma, how many more days like today on the markets before the president feels he has to stage some sort of climb down, do you think?
Well, if it carries on like this, he won't be able to weather many days because millions, in fact billions, have been lost and investors are incredibly jittery. And bear in mind that this is a president who uses the markets and the economy as the barometer of his success. He's never finished speaking about how well he's doing or tweeting about it. There had been some indications of a slight hesitation in the markets and in the economy over the past few months, and that was causing nervousness. That was before what happened today. So he will want to see there's some kind of steadying on the markets, and that will rely on his negotiations with China. At the end of the day, he is up for re-election in the not too distant future, and he knows that the economy is his best way back to the White House.